Schizzeri, welcome. Boomer Esiason, Craig Carton, all of the fan, and of course worldwide on CBS Sports Network. We got a great show for you today. You know, in police lingo, they use the term DOA. It means dead on arrival. They take the body, they put it into the morgue, they put a little toe tag on it. The body quickly fills up with rigor mortis, becomes stiff, lifeless, and you wouldn't recognize it as a former living entity. We now call those dead bodies that sit in the city morgues the Jets, because in my lifetime, I've never seen a team, and that includes the Rich Kotite years, that was as embarrassingly bad, pathetic, uncaring, and despicable as what I saw last night. And I made a point of staying up to watch every single play. Todd Bowles, dead. Mikey Mack, dead. Woody Johnson, dead. The Jet franchise, dead. And there's much more to come. Boomer did the game on radio. Dead. Good morning, Boomer. How are you today, buddy boy?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. When the best part of the game are two knuckleheads with no shirts on running across the 45-yard line and getting laid out by uniformed state troopers, and we all say the same thing, those guys hit harder than the Jet defense, you know you got yourselves a problem. Bryce Petty comes in after Ryan Fitzpatrick once again decides, I'm just going to throw the ball to the other team. It's almost as if he has a pact with Brandon Marshall that if he drops back to pass, no matter how many guys are on Brandon Marshall, not that he was even paying attention last night, I'm going to throw it anyway. Pathetic. That's the guy that we saved the starting job for because, quote, unquote, he gives us the best chance to win. Pathetic. Todd Bowles just wrote his own epitaph. Unfortunately for him, he got himself fired last night. His team has quit on him. They've quit on us. They've quit on each other. Darrelle Revis is a joke. Mo Wilk is a bigger joke. There's no quarterback, and I know it's going to happen now. Poor Bryce Petty comes in, and you're asking him to quarterback for a team that doesn't give a damn. How in the world is that kid going to get a legitimate tryout when he's playing with a bunch of guys that don't care, that gave up? Every guy on that roster last night should donate their salary back to some charity, the NFL, or Woody Johnson. And that's tonight, of course, that we're going to see the special cleats, blah, 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 blah. We reached an all-new low. And this is Jet football. It's the same old crap every year, and now it's gotten even worse. Woody Johnson, good. Go become the czar of London for all I care. You're a lousy owner. You're a lousy coach. You're a bunch of lousy players. And I did it on purpose. I could have gone to bed at halftime like a lot of people did. I stayed up. I abused myself last night. I need mental attention. Because why in the world would I stay up? It wasn't like I was at the game. I wanted to get my $5 worth. I sat on the couch by myself. I went to sleep by myself.
Same old Jets.
Why? Because the New York Jets reached an all-time new low.
Same old Jets.
Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick completed 5 passes. Whoop-de-freaking-do. You did the game. I feel bad for you. They should have paid you double to do that game. Oh. You've lived it. You've been a part of bad teams. You've called bad teams on the radio. You've talked about bad teams on TV. Throughout your entire 14-year career, and now, 17-year broadcast career. Have you seen anything worse? Have you seen a collection of professional athletes give up and steal money worse than you saw last night? Tell me the truth.
I don't know. Probably.
Tell me the truth, I said.
Am I going to get yelled at all morning this morning?
Have you seen a collection of professional athletes who get paid to perform, give up, and lay down like pussycats at the manner in which the Jets did last night ever before in your life? Yay or nay? Answer the question, I said.
Why are you yelling at me? Don't yell at me. I don't deserve this. All I did was do my job last night.
It's a crime what took place last night.
I know, but I'm just saying. I knew I was going to call in sick this morning.
You should have.
I was going to call in sick.
I was going to call in sick today.
Jesus.
As a matter of fact, I might go home because You know, listen, I told you yesterday that they stunk. They had no chance of winning the game.
So what did you expect? If you knew and you called it, I thought I actually, like an idiot, thought that they were going to win.
Yeah, you thought they'd be able to score points.
I thought they were going to come out like the Cardinals came out yesterday and Sunday and beat the Redskins.
Show some pride.
That's what I thought. I thought, okay, here comes the 30th ranked pass defense in football's coming in.
Some self-respect is what you're talking about.
A team that can't protect their quarterback because he's been hit more than any other quarterback, including Ryan Fitzpatrick, in the league.
Oh, I'm so glad, Todd Bowles. Oh, it took you halftime of that crap to put Bryce Petty in? Really? You moron. We're going to wait because he'll get his chance. Yeah, you give Bryce Petty a chance to play in front of 10 other guys that truly don't give a damn. I would rather they just forfeit the remaining games on their schedule than put us through the crap that we watched last night. Oh, Todd Bowles actually got upset on the sideline. He F-bombed a couple guys. Mo Wilk laughed in his face. It ain't like he's going to show up on time today. And it shouldn't go another 4 weeks. You should put everyone out of their misery today. Todd Bowles should never coach another game on the sideline for the New York Jets. And frankly, I don't give a rat's ass who you bring in for the final month to replace him. Because that guy's going to get kicked out of here too. There's not a single guy on this coaching staff, in this organization, that deserves to keep their job. Not one. The only people I protect are like the secretaries, the office workers, the maintenance guys, the guys that keep the grass nice and make sure the turf is okay, the people that dress up in jackets and ties and khakis, for work. You're all safe. But the people that put on cleats and sweats and pads and hold clipboards and pretend like they know what the hell they're doing, top to bottom, the entire organization needs to be fired. Every coach, every scout, every assistant, every videographer, every one of the guys that do the numbers, the sabermetric a-holes, they all got to go. Every single one of you. Pack your bags. Fill out your resume. You'll get a job somewhere else. Oh, I got a job with the Browns. Oh, good for you, Billy. I'm going to Tennessee. Oh, good for you. I'm going to Houston. I signed up with the Raiders. Great. Good riddance. You don't deserve to wear the N and the Y on your chest, on your underwear, on your socks, on your hat, on your glasses, on anything that has an NY on it. You've embarrassed the city of New York. I'm just happy you play in Jersey. Jersey can have the Jets for all I care. Unbelievable incompetence, quit, lack of desire, lack of pride, lack of understanding that sports is a public trust, that even the people that spent $5 to get in there last night got taken advantage of. It's a joke. The franchise is a joke. It's worse than the Devils. It's worse than, I shouldn't say Devils, they're actually pretty good. It's worse than the Nets. It's worse than the Islanders. It's worse than the Knicks for the last decade. It's the worst. The Pits. It's a joke. They just made last night James Dolan and Brett Yormark look like executives of the year. That's what they did last night. I'm crowning those guys the greatest executives of all time. You know why? Because I'm comparing them to the Jets. A joke. That's all it is. We got sold a bill of goods. I thought last night on Monday Night Football, my team, because the rest of the league's watching the game. Everyone's going to be watching. Oh, it's Monday Night Football. You got 20 Jets wearing the Brandon Marshall Project 45, whatever it's a 495, whatever it is, mental health cleats, right? Everyone's watching us. Hey, we're on national TV. We're the same team that got humiliated by the league last week and kicked off primetime TV to play at 4 o'clock against the most popular team in the league. And how do we reward the networks and the fan base with a national primetime game? With that crap. I mean, they kept Boomer Esiason from sleeping last night. He had to get paid to do the game. Hazard pay, I call it. Hazard pay. So here we are. What the hell's today's date? Tuesday, December 6th, 2016. If you're not a Jet fan, I want you to imagine this. Close your eyes for a minute if I ask you, Boomer. I got to put it in your world. The New York Rangers just played on New Year's Day. The biggest game of the regular season every year in the NHL. It's a great event. And they decided that they were going to play in MetLife Stadium. 80,000 people come out to watch your beloved Rangers play hockey, and the Rangers are down 9-0 after a period. And then it's 14-0 after 2. They bring in Ali Rata. He gives up 7 more goals. Now it's 23-0. You don't get the puck across the red line once in the third period. And then you wake up. That's how it feels.
Thank God that doesn't happen.
So say what you want to say.
Say what I want to say. What do I want to say? I said everything I needed to say last night.
No one heard it. Sorry.
They heard it.
Nobody heard it. Tell me what you said last night. I didn't hear it.
Hopefully
it's what I said.
Well, a couple things. First and foremost, Bryce Petty has just got to calm down. He's got to take a big, giant chill pill and just calm down. He's got the arm strength. You know, he can get the ball where he needs to get it. He just is playing at such a fast pace because he's nervous.
Sure.
And that's always the big crux for me. What happens when the ball gets into a guy's hands? Then what happens?
Right.
And what happened last night was, just an ill-advised interception down the middle, an ill-advised interception on the right sideline towards the end of the game. I know these things are not in the body of the game, but bad decisions, bad throws, and this is why they didn't want to put him on the field. But he certainly has the physical attributes. The question now is, can he just calm down and just go out there and play football? Maybe he will now, knowing that he'll start the last 4 games.
Right. Can you explain to me something?
Well, hold on. The other thing, too, is that, we always talk about relevancy in this studio about the sports teams, about the franchises, that you want to be relevant, that you want people talking about you in a positive way. I went through exactly what the Jets are going through right now 21 years ago. So I know exactly how the fans feel. I know exactly how the players feel. I know how embarrassing it is for Todd Bowles to stand there for 4 quarters of national television and have John Gruden try to explain the debacle that was the Jets' performance last night. It's not easy. And, he does, and I always say this, when we talk about these guys, we talk about them as individuals that are part of a team. We're not talking about them off the field. We're not talking about their family members. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about the performance that we witness.
Yep.
And last night, when I took stock in that stadium before the game, Kevin, Harlan was trying to paint a picture of what an opportunity for the Colts. They get Andrew Luck back. This is going to be an exciting night, blah, 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 blah. And I said, Kevin, this really has a feel for me, even before the game, walking around on the field, of like the last preseason game.
Yep.
There was no energy in that stadium, and there had to be, I couldn't think that there were more than 25,000 people in that stadium, and I played in a game much like that in 1995. I believe it was against the Saints, where both teams were like 3-12. They might have been 4-11 or whatever.
Right, no juice at all.
And I'm telling you, that's the worst feeling I think that a franchise could have. So if you're Woody Johnson there and you're hosting Vice President-elect Mike Pence in your box as you're trying to become the ambassador of Great Britain, it doesn't get much more embarrassing than that. And I think Mike McCagnon was even in his box, which I think is a first since Mike has been here. So there's obviously some... And, Woody responds. Woody reacts to the fans. He reacts to this radio station. He reacts to the back pages of the newspaper. It was not a good look for the head coach last night, because
he got himself fired last night.
I honestly felt like, and this is the most embarrassing part of it, is that his team quit on him.
Yep.
His team, they came out with the kickoff. It started with the kickoff, where Ross returned it to the 10-yard line to start the game.
Yep.
There was a blown assignment by James Carpenter, their left guard. There was a bad snap by Nick Mangold, dribbled back to Ryan Fitzpatrick. There was a drop pass by Quincy Enunwa. And the next thing you know, it was 14-0. And I really don't know what Darrelle Revis was doing. I have no idea what Buster Skrine was doing last night. There was no pass rush. There was the only guy that there were 2 guys that I thought played with the professional desire and smarts of being longtime veterans, or not longtime veterans, but players who did have some pride last night, and that was Leonard Williams and David Harris. Those are the only two guys.
Yeah.
The other guys out there, there were some young guys out there making mistakes and, getting caught up and, get lost in coverage. But, Buster Skrine's making a lot of money. He should be better than that. Darrelle Revis is so far off of T.Y. Hilton that it's ridiculous. I mean, he could just stand up and throw it out to him at the line of scrimmage, and he'd make a miss and probably take off for 30, 40 yards down the field. So, saying all of that, it's just another lost season, and it's a really bad look, and it's a bad look for the coach. And coach is he's worked his entire life. But here's the deal. Just from the human perspective, the coach has fought so hard his entire life, dealing with whatever he had to deal with to convince somebody that, yes, I can be a head coach in the NFL. And here he is in year 2 of his head coaching career, and his team looked like it did last night. Yeah. And that is a poor reflection of his control of the players' respect for him, and ultimately the paying fan who did not show up last night.
Yep. And for a defensive-minded coach who had a chance to become a head coach, his defense let him down. They didn't show I'm to lose. I'm not saying this for the effect. In my life, I've never seen guys that wide open and such a complete lack of caring of fundamentals on defense. I mean, I honestly think I could have caught a pass in an NFL game yesterday, which is a joke.
I think Darrelle Revis made one play, and I think it was late in the third quarter.
When he tackled T.Y. Hilton from behind, got him by the ankles to stop a touchdown, right?
Well, no, I think they were trying to hit Moncrief, and he actually dove and tipped the ball.
I mean, it was a joke.
I mean, it was 31-3
like, if you're
at that
Andrew
time.
Luck, literally, and they said it during the game, you could see the video. It was plenty of time, and it was just like pitch and catch, wide open. So here's a defense that quit on its head coach. Well, the next head coach ain't going to be as easy as this one, and this one was supposed to play a disciplinarian because he was the anti-Rex Ryan. I long for the days of Rex Ryan.
I hate to say this. What your team needs is a heavy dose of Tom Coughlin is what it needs.
By the way, if you told me Tom Coughlin was coming here, I'd sign up for that right now.
I would just,
100%
even
say
if you
yes
just sign him for a 3-year deal to come in and just because it's bad, and when your best player, supposedly your best player, because you're paying him like it, Muhammad Wilkerson says after the game, the entire team played like what.
Right, bleep. Yep.
And he basically, that's an indictment of the entire team. So I'm not saying anything that their own players are not saying.
Listen,
and I listened to the post game and listened to all the comments after the game. And once it got started, I was like, oh no, here we go. This is not going to be good. I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, just after the first 3 plays, 3 and out by the Jet offense, I looked at him and I said, this is not going to go well for the Jets. This is just not.
It didn't go well for anybody. And now, listen, it's you got to put it. You just got to put them out of their misery. Foot right in the throat and end it. They're irrelevant. We're not going. I can't tell you I'm going to watch every play the rest of the way because why would I? It's 3 hours on a Sunday.
It's going to be interesting.
That I got better things to do with my time.
Think about this. In the meantime, the bigger picture. The Jets are I don't know if you want to call it a hobby for their owner. I don't know how involved he is on a daily basis. He's obviously going to get some sort of appointment from President-elect Trump because he was, supporting
for
him.
sure.
This is how it works in this world, which supposedly we're supposed to be draining the swamp, and I think we just keep filling it up. But anyway, he's going to take an ambassadorship, most likely to Great Britain, and then what? I mean, then what happens to this franchise? Maybe it could be the best thing that ever happens to the franchise. I don't know, but there has to be some bloodletting over there. There has to be people held accountable over there. There has to be a direction that I thought was being taken last year, but it obviously has basically turned south for